What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you for watching, commenting, subscribing, being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Wow. Tomorrow's it. Tomorrow is it. What started out with a loss with Green Bay getting destroyed, an inactive free agency period, a trip to Detroit with game time, prime time, David Wiley to be at the draft, OTAs, mini camps, and a trip to Oxnard for training camp for a week, through 16 games, a bye week, and a trip to Dallas to see the Cowboys get mollywopped by the Eagles. All culminates tomorrow with the game against the Commanders in Dallas. I put in some miles, I ain't gonna lie to you y'all. I put in some real miles supporting this team, being hopeful of this team, supporting this team, standing up for this team, only to be bitch slapped over and over and over again in this abusive relationship that I'm in. You always hope for the best and expect the worst, and you'll never get disappointed. People ask, that aren't Cowboys fans or Cowboys YouTubers, and they say, how do you do this, man? How can you go through with some of the things that we've done? You know, some of the things that I've learned with the Cowboys. I think about going through on the tour of the Star and finding out that the Cowboys charge the players for meals at the Star. Whether they eat there or not, it's a monthly thing to get taken out of. Finding out that the team will only give the players 2 tickets to games, and only home games, and not necessarily great seats. That the team will look to make sure you don't reach your incentives like Cooper Rush tomorrow. And then you hear Jerry Jones basically admit on the preview of the Netflix special, it's bigger than winning. It's bigger than winning. This season has been hell. This season has been, it seems like maybe we're in an alternate universe. For those Trekkies out there, mirror, mirror, that we have gone to another parallel universe, and everything the Dallas Cowboys touch turns to shit. It's crazy. Jerry says we're going all in, and they are the last team to sign a free agent. they let go 9 starters on a team that had holes to begin with before. They bring back Zeke, which I love Zeke. I used to love. I got a big salad fork and spoon just so I could eat with Zeke. With Zeke. 226 yards. The question is, should Mike McCarthy come back as coach? First of all, I say, with him being one of the bottom paid coaches in the NFL, second from the bottom, should he want to come back? He seems to appear, yeah, I want to come back. Or maybe he's just saying the right thing because he worries about his guys. You have to think if anybody offers him a job, it'll be for more money than the Cowboys. But then again, he might be like Jerry Jones and like being in the spotlight. But see, here's the big question you have to ask. This is the real question you have to ask about Mike McCarthy. Because I hear about, the offense hasn't been that creative to start out the season. Not doing a lot of motion and things and so forth. Could part of the reason why they weren't creative with the offense was because you had a new center and you had a tackle who we keep having all kinds of pre-snap penalties that maybe because this team had so many injuries that people had said, Brandon Cooks was out. So made Jalen Tolbert number 2 wide receiver, brings in Jalen Brooks, and so on. And then you had a Mingo Dingo to the list because you bring him in the middle of the season. And then you got Jake Ferguson, who, he was in and out of the lineup because he was injured, concussion, and he never seemed to get really on track. And then you got Shoemaker. Shoemaker who really, hasn't had that much experience. And so you got all these new pieces in here, and you're trying to run the offense, and then your star player wasn't in training camp because the front office waited till the last minute to sign him. So you have all these pieces and all these people that haven't worked together or are working now for the first time. You got Tyler Guyton, who played right tackle. In college is playing now left tackle. You got Cooper Beebe, who's played tackle and guard, is now playing center. You got all these people out here, and then we're trying to run the football with running back by committee that you've got all of these things going on. You got a different defensive coordinator. You end up losing with the new defensive coordinator 4 defensive ends. But here's the real question. And you look at all these things and say, it's kind of beyond his control. It was Jerry Stephen Jones that didn't sign CeeDee Lamb and he set out all off season. Maybe it's just dumb luck with the injuries they caught up with us. Or maybe it's the training staff is not doing the right thing. I don't know. But it's beyond the coach's control. But here's the thing I asked you. As we look at teams that have gone out and tried to do things, like we've seen the Denver Broncos that went out and got Russell Wilson and other pieces and stuff. We've seen the Rams go out and get, Von Miller and Odell Beckham Jr. and Ndamukong Suh. Lord knows he had been the assassin that's just been going from team to team. Tom Brady, because my brother out there, Walker Wade, goes, Tampa Bay, that they brought in Tom Brady and they win the Super Bowl like it was just Tom Brady. But see, the thing is Tampa Bay was 8-8 with Jameis Winston at quarterback, who had 30 TDs and 30 interceptions. They weren't necessarily a bad team. Yes, he was an awful quarterback. Just by not throwing interceptions, they would have been a better team. But it wasn't just Tom Brady. He brought a crew of people with him. People like Gronk, Ndamukong Suh. They made moves to get there. And the same way the Rams did. We've seen the Eagles go out there and get A.J. Brown and Saquon Barkley and people and stuff. Now, we've seen places that have crashed and burned, like the Jets going out and getting Aaron Rodgers and, getting Devontae Adams and other players, and Denver getting Russell Wilson and other players and stuff like that. We've seen failures and things in there, but you have to ask yourself, when you judge Mike McCarthy, and you look at his body of work, what move, because I'm trying to figure out, what move beyond the NFL draft did the Dallas Cowboys do in Mike McCarthy's era to make them a better team? Excuse me. When we look at some of the guys that we bring in, have we signed a free agent that's been over $3 or $4 million? Have we signed anybody that was in their prime? Now, they've had some luck with some guys, with Brandon Aubrey, with Turpin. We've had some luck there. But when you talk about bringing in a Tom Brady, a Gronk, and Ndamukong Suh, that's the kind of things I'm talking about here. When you're talking about the Rams bringing in Matthew Stafford, Von Miller, Odell, that's some moves to say we're trying to win. You can even look at the Cleveland Browns, who at least, they brought in Deshaun Watson. That didn't work out. But Odell and other people, that they made moves to say, we're trying to be the best we can be. We're trying to win a Super Bowl. So go back to the original question. What have the Cowboys done to help Mike McCarthy? One of the best players we had, we just literally had a hissy fit and gave him away for a 5th-round pick. We've hamstrung ourselves by not getting contracts done in time, like CeeDee Lamb's. So how can you judge Mike McCarthy and say he sucks as a coach when he doesn't have what everybody else has to work with? I've gotten to the point where I question myself for supporting this team, for flying around or driving around the country to follow their ass, buying stuff. Because what's apparent about it is the only thing Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones and the organization care about is keeping their names in the headlines and taking every cent from us. I'm going to say that the Cowboys, after that Green Bay game, turned off a lot of fans. And this season has turned off even more of them. That the Cowboys are going to have to do something big. Something big beyond signing our own guys to try and win back the fans. For the first time, I think people realize how much bullshit that the Dallas Cowboys are really about. And that they don't care about winning. They only care about your money. And that sucks here, being a fan that's been a diehard fan forever. And I don't know what to do. Game Time's Brian lost his mother-in-law today. So send your thoughts and prayers out to him. sorry, his name slips my mind, but one of our fans out there found out he's got a kidney. He's getting a kidney replaced, and that's going to happen on Tuesday. And I'm so happy for you on that. And it's crazy. There was about a mile from here. It was a police chase. Police chase. Don't know what the young person driving was being chased for, but it ended up being a fiery crashes, I should say, because it ended up being on a road that's only a 35-mile-an-hour speed limit. 2 cars flipped over, one on fire. And so the roads are all blocked in there while they're doing the investigation and so on. And I hope nobody got hurt seriously during that. But that's the kind of thing that you just don't know can happen in the blink of an eye. And so that's why I always say, tell the people you love how much you love them, because tomorrow's not promised. Anything can happen to anybody. And so make the most of your opportunities. And Cowboys, please stop wasting all of our time. Whew. Have a good night, and we'll be here streaming the game tomorrow. Oh, boy. Peace out.